It's time to meet Clifton.
With your host, Ray Grabowski.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Meet Clifton. Tonight we have some interesting information to share with you. We have a lot of good guests, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Tonight's guest star, Zumba instructor Lisandra Ortiz, Clifton's COVID-19 team members Catalina and Adriana, and Martin DiBattista of Better Team USA. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another episode of Meet Clifton.
So come on, baby, don't you wanna go? So come on, baby, don't you wanna go?
Okay, welcome back to our show. My first guest, Miss Lisandra Ortiz. Thank you for coming on. And Lisandra is a Zumba instructor. So tonight we're going to try to learn a little bit about what Zumba is, the benefits of it, and we're going to basically focus on the exercise of Zumbas. So let's just start with exercise, because we know Zumba is so. How important is exercise for the average person in our lives?
It's so important. You get so many benefits from it, starting with control of your weight. That's obvious. You also get benefits reducing the blood sugars and insulin levels in your body. Something else that's really important is it helps your mental health and your mood. That's very important. And in the long run, it helps you keep your learning, judgment, and thinking skills sharp as you age. So it's a long-term benefit with exercise.
Does it burn calories?
For sure. That is definitely, the top on the list.
So we're gonna talk about Zumba in a second. I don't know, calories, 500 calories, 600, I don't know, doesn't matter, but
yeah.
Is there a calculation?
I've had students that have their calorie counter, and it usually ranges between 350, 370 calories. Okay. And I do a 45-minute class.
I was just going to ask that. So it's 45 minutes. And on the exercise part, how many times or how important is it, let's say, per week to exercise? Is it a daily thing, or is there a minimum criteria for how much exercise does a human need?
I think if you're getting started on an exercise program, you have to, in order to keep up with it, start slow. Nothing drastic. I wouldn't say start a program every day. So I would say every other day, get started. And if you like the program, you're going to stick with it, right? You're going to continue to go. And it's up to you, to your availability, if you want to do it every day. But definitely every other day, it's a good...
So what you're saying is basically 3 to 4 times a week, a minimum of 45 minutes?
Yeah, 2 to 3 times a week. That's perfect to get started.
So now we're going to... Zumba. What is Zumba? Okay,
so Zumba is a fitness program that involves cardio and Latin dance, Latin-inspired dances. Right. It's created by this Colombian choreographer and dancer, Beto Perez, and it was created in 2001. And it's one of the biggest fitness programs in the world.
Right. Yeah. Zumba, because I see it on TV and
everywhere.
A lot of people have their own tapes, and I'm sure you'll have one eventually.
Yeah.
Sell. What makes this different from any other exercise class? Because you hear yoga, this, that. So talking about Zumba, why is this different?
So Zumba is when you go. Usually the classes that you go to at the gym are body targeted. So you do arms and upper body or lower body. Zumba integrates all that, and it's in a form of dance. Zumba is a party, and you're just having fun the whole time. You don't realize how much you're working out. We like to say that it's like exercise in disguise. Right? So you are working everything, your core, but you don't realize it. So it's like having fun, you're dancing, and you're not targeting a specific part of the body like other classes that we have, group classes we have at gyms.
Right. So basically you're saying this is fun.
Definitely fun.
Okay, and obviously there's a lot of benefits. We talked about the exercise. When you're learning, are you also learning Latin dances?
In a way you are.
Salsa,
definitely.
I don't know them all, but...
Yes, there are 4 core dances in Zumba.
Okay.
The beginning, you're always going to learn merengue, salsa, bachata, and cumbia, which is a Colombian derived dance.
Okay.
That's from the creator of Zumba. And those are the 4 basic ones. There's like plenty other more that we integrate in there, but the 4 basic ones are those. And you're definitely learning new steps in each category.
Right. So if you go out social dancing and there's a
It
salsa,
helps.
it'll
It helps.
because you already have the form.
Yes, it's the basic steps. Mhm.
Okay. So, and how long have you been doing this?
4 years. I'll be
4
5 years in September.
And I spoke before the show. There's Zumba classes all over. Are these legitimate classes? Do you have to be certified? What's involved
Yes.
with you being a Zumba teacher?
Right. Not just anybody can teach Zumba. You have to take a certification where you are taught by a Zumba specialist, and they have to take you through the whole process, and then you get your certification at the end of that day.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Does everybody pass this? Because I'm assuming that you already knew how to dance all of these dances.
Right.
So it's just a matter of learning the technique of
Right.
how to teach people, because there's a way.
Right.
I don't know if
And
the way
they
is,
teach
but-
you that way. And the good thing about Zumba is that it's ongoing teaching for the instructors. So they do keep you updated with music, techniques, how to teach, how to gather people. It's ongoing teaching. So we're learning constantly. And you create your own following. So you also learn as you go, how should I improve my classes? How should I get, more people?
Okay.
So-
And on another sort of note, men and women taking classes together.
For definitely.
Okay, it's probably a good thing.
For sure. Yes. Yes. It's not just women taking Zumba. Men also get in there and they try the steps and they do great. A lot of couples do it. So, it's very
So
good.
it's a nice activity, something to do together as a group,
For
right?
sure.
So lastly, if someone wants to get involved in Zumba, how do they do this?
Okay, so you can contact your local gym or rec center in town or a health club. Zumba is most likely everywhere in all those different places. And you call and see if they have any classes. Also, Zumba offers events. We do events.
Events, okay.
Right, like outside the gyms.
Right.
You can attend one of those events, and if people like what they see, they might want to then join a class at the gym or the rec center or locally, wherever they offer.
Okay, so it's social, it's exercise,
sure.
it's dancing,
It's fun. You are happy at the end of it. So many endorphins. It's the best.
Okay,
really.
well, Lisandra, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Anybody wants to do Zumba, please contact your local Zumba place, and maybe we'll see you there. Maybe I'll be there. I don't know. Thank you.
Hope to
Appreciate
see
it.
you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Be right back.
Hello, Clifton and friends. Welcome to the updates. I'm Sharon Corbanix and always happy to be here with you. And thank you for tuning in. Well, we have some things happening. Still, it's March 12th is the date to keep in your mind because the Elks Lodge in Clifton at 775 Clifton Ave is having their fundraiser dinner dance. It's with live music with Swingmen and the Misfit Mutts. And you can call 973-473-9752 for tickets because it is limited seating because of the ongoing situation. However, they would be happy to help you and get your tickets for March 12th. Then also March 12th, Athenia Veterans Post. They're listed at 147 Huron Avenue. And you can call them for tickets and get a description of their fundraising event. They are located, again, at 147 Huron Avenue, right off of Van Houten Avenue. And the number is 973-778-0931. So definitely call for tickets. And also, just so you know, there are some jobs open at Clifton Public Schools. Please call, see what opportunities are available. As far as I know, there are various different opportunities. Call 973-594-4195 just to see what currently they do have open. So if you're looking for a job, maybe they can help you. And also the Clifton Recreation Department will be having some upcoming fun events. Don't forget the Bunny Bash. So look for different details on the Clifton channel for the Bunny Bash. And also Caitlin's Web Day program, which is the Center for Enhancing Abilities Progressive Comprehensive Services, is still collecting craft supplies for Artworks Foundation. And the foundation provides craft packages for children between the ages of birth to 24 years old who are confined to hospital for treatments. And of course, Caitlin has had a lot of this input into the project because she had been in hospitals for a few times. So she knows what it's like to go through, and it's so refreshing to have some activities while you're recuperating from either a long illness or an injury. So please consider giving items donated through the end of February. The box is at City Hall, and it's now there for an easy drop-off for craft supplies. And on a personal note, if you are looking for a movie to see, please go check out Uncharted. I was invited to a private screening, loved the movie, lots of fun, action, and to top it off, I got to meet Tom Holland. It was a nice little surprise. Enjoy. Again, it's great to see you in Clifton, great to see you around town. If you have anything that you want us to announce, please come to us or call Lisa at the studio. So thank you again for tuning in. My pleasure as always.
Okay, welcome back. My next two guests are from the Clifton Health Department, Catalina and Adriana. They're part of the newly formed COVID-19 team. Maybe somebody could explain what is the COVID-19, the team itself.
Yes. So the COVID-19 team is comprised of 4 young women. So Adriana, Catalina, myself, and then we also have Casey and Kim.
Okay.
And we were fully formed this July. So before it was just some of us, but then it became more like full-time afterwards in July. And so we were kind of, we came to be because the Clifton Health Department received a grant from the state. And so we've been helping the department with everything COVID-19 related. And, you know, up to date, we still do that.
Okay, so let me ask you first, Catalina. Just tell me a little bit about yourself. Why are you on this team? You must have some expertise or something. Either one could start first.
Yes. So I'm Catalina, and I actually do have a bachelor's in biology.
Okay.
And I'm currently pursuing a master's in public health. So, you know, I'm very passionate about public health and helping the community.
Okay.
And my name is Adriana, and I am also working on my master's right now in social work. So I'm attending Montclair State University. And that's kind of how I got involved.
Okay. So that, I mean, it's a good thing because COVID's been pretty prevalent and hopefully coming to an end soon. But so what's the purpose of the team?
So currently we are focusing on providing resources to the community and just kind of, you know, providing them anything related to COVID-19. So like vaccines, testing, referrals to any other vaccinations. So like for children, if they want to get vaccinated. Also, we do provide like social support resources.
Right.
So it's not just COVID-19 related. We do provide resource referrals to like food, like financial assistance, mental health resources, and much more.
Okay, so what are the efforts that you're actually putting forward for the vulnerable population?
So when we started on this grant, we came up with a plan. It's called the Vulnerable Populations Targeted Outreach Plan. So with that, we kind of came up with a list of populations that we felt were vulnerable. Some of the ones that we thought of were the elderly, the homeless community, those who don't have internet access, residents who don't have health insurance or low income, essential workers. So we pretty much sat down and tried to think of how we can help those different populations.
Right.
So just some examples for people who don't have internet access.
And I was going to ask that because some don't, and so they don't. That's what I want to know. How do you reach these people?
Yeah, so that was a really big thing in the beginning because a lot of the appointments for testing or vaccination, you had to do it online.
Right.
So if you don't have a computer, you can't make it an appointment. So what we thought would be a good idea was to have a hotline. So we came up with a hotline and then we tried to promote it as much as we could. And we had a really, really big response. We had thousands of phone calls in the beginning of the pandemic.
Wow.
Trying to make appointments to get a vaccine. You know, they weren't all because they didn't have internet access, but just people who wanted more information. So if they didn't have internet access, we would make the appointment for them.
Yeah.
Right.
We would stay on the phone with them, get them an appointment, and that's something that we've continued to do. So we still do have the hotline. We kind of refocused it more to, and it was also very focused on the elderly community.
Right. Well, of course, that's
who
that's
may not have
important.
been able to use a computer.
Right.
So that was a big focus of ours in the beginning, and now we kind of had shifted a little more to just anyone who needs assistance with quarantine and isolation guidelines, or just information about COVID, any questions regarding COVID resources, and like Catalina was saying, like social service resources, mental health. Those are more of the calls that we're getting now.
And how do you reach the population? And I don't know if you do or you don't. That do you actually go to some of these people's houses?
So we do try to do outreach. So we try to go to organizations.
Okay.
We've been trying to reach,
Mm-hmm.
churches, places of worship. We go to supermarkets. We try to go anywhere where the community's at. And we also do homebound vaccination. So we also take these resources to, individuals who are homebound in Clifton. So we're trying to do as much as we can. We do post on social media, but we're trying to get a little more creative and maybe try to brainstorm how much more we can do for the community. But those are some of the things that we have done.
Right. Now, we know Clifton has the best health department in the state. And John Beagle runs a tight ship, and I know that they've done everything possible during this pandemic to service Clifton. I think that they've done a phenomenal job with everyone. But how do you see the community's response? Do you hear responses from the people? Like, how are we doing with them?
I think we've received a pretty positive response. I think it's very rare that anybody has said anything negative about how we handled it.
Right.
A lot of people were very happy of the drive-through clinic that we did.
Right.
I don't think many places did that, and it was
great.
Like, we worked really hard to make it like a productive thing, and just very organized. So we've had a really positive response with just how we've been able to assist the community in regards to COVID.
Yes, definitely.
Right. 'Cause I don't see any flaws in this. I mean, it was a difficult situation.
Very.
And Clifton stepped up to the plate. I know that probably more so than any other town in the area. So now, hopefully we're coming to an end. So just briefly, both or one, just what do you see as the new normal?
Well, I believe that we're kind of moving towards recovery from COVID. So there's a lot of individuals who suffered great loss, even like financial problems, mental health problems, a lot of issues going on. So I think we need to kind of focus on social support, and trying to get help to individuals who need it. And we are actually opening up our satellite office at Botany Village.
Right. That's new. That's great.
We're just super, super excited for that. We're trying to kind of go to where the community is. And we did find that individuals in the Botany Village area do actually, need a little more help.
Right.
But regardless, the satellite office is not just for people in Botany Village, it's for everyone in Clifton.
Right.
And we are planning to have organizations come there, and, we're planning to have events there. We're planning to have a lot of resources for everyone in Clifton there.
Okay. And I just, top of my head, real quick question. Do you think there's going to be not a huge need, but for a need for, like counseling for people who have been through this?
I definitely think so.
Yes.
I think that, a lot of people lost family members.
Right.
Parents, their kids, their aunts, uncles. So I think that it's going to be a really big need. And there are a lot of services. There's a lot of organizations that offer mental health services specifically for people who have lost family members due to COVID. I think that it's just, it's hard to give that information out to a community maybe that doesn't have social media or doesn't have internet.
Right.
So having something in a community that has a high need, and being able to advertise services like that, and maybe even have someone come in and offer those services is really great.
So will we be able to direct people?
Absolutely.
If they call or something, I'm having a tough time, or my son is depressed because it could be anything from schooling, because they were out of school, or maybe the mask situation. Can we?
Yes, absolutely. We partnered, and we've made a lot of great connections with mental health organizations, and we can definitely refer any individual that needs any mental health help. We can totally do that.
Okay. So these are all good questions. Hopefully everything gets back to normal. I'd like to thank you ladies for coming on. We got a lot of good information. Hopefully things get better. No, they will get better.
Yes.
So we'll think positive.
Yes,
so
definitely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ray.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hi, Kim Castellano. Are you tired of feeling overwhelmed due to the pandemic? Or do you feel alone? Or do you feel bored? We have great news. Help is here. Starting March 24th, we're launching our Stress Relief Workshop series. It'll be held at the auditorium at the Woodrow Wilson Middle School. So we've been doing these workshops for 8 years now, and we've helped many people overcome stress, worry, fear, anxiety. And what we're doing is we're helping you to identify your stress triggers. It's Stress 101. Okay, Stress Relief 101. And you'll have a lot of handouts. It's a workshop, so be prepared to do work. So how you're going to get involved in this is you're going to register. We have a Google form that you can fill out. It's on our website at www.powerof1ccom.org, or you can actually call the phone number and someone will register you. That phone number is 862-239-5905. For those of you that are registering early, because it's March 24th, it's a Thursday night, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. If you need childcare, please call that phone number and we'll try to connect you with some childcare. We really want to see you there. So those that are registering early, we have gift cards, free giveaways. We also have some other vendors that are going to help us. They're crisis counselors, because we know that because of the pandemic, a lot of us are feeling isolated. We want you to get back to your new normal. You may even be afraid of that new normal. So I want you to come out and just be a part of the community and start identifying your stress triggers and get on the path of feeling more joy and having more fun again. So thanks. Can't wait to see you at the workshops.
Baby, don't you wanna go back to that same old place, sweet home Chicago? So come on, baby, don't you wanna go?
Okay, welcome back. Tonight with us, I have a very interesting guest, Mr. Martin DiBattista. He's the owner of Better Team USA. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
We're going to talk a lot about things, but their company made the uniforms for the Olympic team. But let's start out with how long you've been in business.
Better Team USA has been in business since 2014, but it's a family business going back 3 generations.
Okay.
Probably further, but my grandfather was a tailor, and he was born in Italy, migrated to the US, and had a factory in New York City, the garment center.
And why this is important is obviously because now you're located in Clifton, New Jersey. So how long have you been in Clifton?
Strategically, when my father, the founder, Horatio, was looking for a facility,
Okay.
Clifton was ideal because it was close to Manhattan, to the garment center. There was a good pool of labor in Passaic County, in Essex County, for sewers, and the incentives, the help that we got from the state of New Jersey was also good, from like labor training, things like that.
So we're building up to obviously Olympic uniforms, but what products does the company make?
We have a niche which is making technical outerwear.
Right.
In our industry, outerwear is a little bit different than your regular commodity clothing like shirts and pants.
Right.
It's a little more technical, and that type of manufacturing has been sent overseas. That's why my father in the early 90s had to go to Asia. He went to China and lived there for 30 years, built a business there. And in 2014, when we opened up here, we decided to stick to technical outerwear because there's no other facilities, that's why Ralph Lauren found us back in 2016, 2017, because we also did the 2018 Winter Olympic opening ceremony and closing ceremony jackets.
Right.
Those jackets were very cool because they had a heater inside.
Oh, wow.
And that's something that we had engineer into the jackets, a battery powered heater.
Right. Wow.
That was connected to your iPhone. It was amazing. Actually, I was just reading that the top 2 Olympics were 2018 and 2022 for the opening ceremony, uniforms for Team USA, and those are the 2 that we made.
Right.
And having that niche allowed us to collaborate with Ralph Lauren. They designed it, we executed, and that's where the magic happened.
So, because I'm not too sure, what actually what did you actually make for them? Jackets, pants? I'm not too sure.
Well, there's a lot of brands that participate in the Olympics with the USOC, and they'll do like the clothing that they wear in the village, maybe some gifts. We do the big show. We do the opening ceremony. So when Team USA comes out into the world and at the opening ceremony parade, they are wearing the jackets that we made here in Clifton, New Jersey.
Okay, and that's affiliated with Ralph Lauren?
Ralph Lauren is the designer. He's the sponsor. So those garments have the Ralph Lauren logo.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
They're all made by Ralph Lauren.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty big accomplishment. How does someone even get a contract with Ralph Lauren?
Well, when we opened up, we were doing some outreach, right, promoting our business, and somebody on their team found us. Obviously, my secret weapon is my father. He's one of the last in the industry with that type of experience and know-how.
Right.
And I've been studying under him for the past decade. And now he says that I'm getting better than him, but I doubt it.
Well, hopefully.
He's still, you know, I'm still trying to keep up with him. We talk every day. He lives in Italy, and you know, by technology, you know, now with
you could
FaceTime and Zoom, we constantly collaborating on. It's still like he's here,
right?
But because of COVID, he hasn't been able to travel.
Of course.
But he's my secret weapon, and studying him, I've only learned his way, and it's one of the, you know, like those skills are lacking here in the U.S.
Right.
There's a lot of theoretical, like people go to FIT, and Parsons, and learn, you know, about design and about the manufacturing, but because manufacturing has left the U.S. for so long that know-how's not there, we're trying to bring it back.
Right.
Our vision is to elevate the craft back to be at the same level as like Italian. Right. So when you say Italian made, you're like, wow, right?
Of course, yeah.
So we
quality.
So we want to elevate the American manufacturing of apparel to that level again.
So in your company here in Clifton, how many employees roughly do you employ?
Well, we have about 25. We, during the 2018 Winter Olympics, we actually had like 50 employees.
Right.
And then we kind of scaled down.
Okay.
And we started coming back up. And what we've done is added some automation. So we've invested in our infrastructure. We're doing things like 3D modeling when we do the prototyping, which is really cool. It like blows my mind, the things that you could do now.
Sure.
So that speeds up the process. We invested in some computerized sewing machines, which is like amazing. Like I can become a sewer.
I was going to say, how hands-on are you?
Very hands-on. I mean, I didn't start as the owner, the GM. I started working at the cutting table, learning about.
So ground floor.
Yeah, I worked every single corner of the factory to get to where I'm now. So I know everything. But I don't sew. I just know what the engineering is. But these machines now, you can program them. Actually, my son's also in New Jersey, studying in New Jersey. He's at Stevens Institute in Hoboken.
Great school.
Great school. He's actually on the dean's list. He's graduating this year. And he's a computer engineer. He actually worked on the Olympic program with us, programmed these new machines that we have. The automatic sewing. So he did the programs, the templates, the laser cutting for us.
That's incredible. So, I mean, that's a great thing for the Olympics because kind of like a nice feather in your cap. But before the show, we also spoke about the Paralympics. You did some work for them?
Well, it's all together. So
it's all together.
When we do the opening ceremony and closing ceremony, it includes the athletes for the Olympics and the Paralympics.
Okay. And just lastly, is this your biggest achievement for the company, or is there something greater?
So it's a great honor to work for the Olympics and to work with such an amazing American company like Ralph Lauren. That really tells the industry what type of work that we do. But we work for many other smaller brands making outerwear. And it's funny, we got called at the end of 2020, and the conversation was, are you guys still around? Because of the challenges during COVID, a lot of companies didn't make it. We were blessed that we actually pivoted, and another great achievement of ours is that we were able to supply the frontline workers with reusable medical gowns.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So we pivoted and started sewing medical gowns, up to 100,000 medical gowns a month that year.
That's incredible.
It really pushed us past some of the boundaries that we thought we had in regards to our capacity and our ability to produce those many garments. The way we did it was partnering with other factories to subcontract and increase our capacity that way. So it was interesting.
That's great. That's a success story. And I want to thank you for coming on, but I just want to say that, we're very proud to have this company in Clifton, to be part of history technically, with the Olympics and the Paralympics, and a company that actually works out of Clifton. And this is what we're all about, promoting Clifton people, Clifton base. So keep up a good work, and I appreciate you coming on the show.
Ray.
Thank you very much. We'll be right back.
Without your love, pretty baby, bring back home to me.
Well, that's our show for tonight. I'd like to thank everyone for coming on, our special guests, and of course, everyone who helps out on the show. One thing, if anyone has someone else that would like to be a guest on our show, please contact our cable committee in Clifton City Hall. We'd love to have someone else on. In the meantime, be good to your friends and family, respect your neighbors, keep Clifton close to your heart. This is a great city. Thank you, God bless, and good night.